Hey guys, welcome to my Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie review. Now I literally just got home from watching it, so it's still fresh in my mind, which is great. Now, anyone who's been following me for any period of time knows that I like to say the things that I don't like about movies first, and then the things that I do like at the end, because I just like to get the stuff that I don't like out of the way. So this is Quentin Tarantino's ninth film, and it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie. But we'll get to that in a sec. So this actually is rated MA 15 plus. It goes for 2 hours and 41 minutes. So it is a really, really long film. So my personal opinion, guys, if you're going to go and see this movie and you know that there's going to be ads and trailers before the movie, go and sit in the seat as late as you possibly can. One of the things that I don't like about movies this long is if it feels slightly boring in any part of the movie and you need to go to the toilet, you kind of feel like just get up and go, but then you're going to miss stuff and you don't know what you're going to miss, especially if it's the first time you've ever seen it and you don't want to go to the bathroom, in the middle of a movie like this. So the first thing I want to say that I didn't like about this movie straight off the bat, guys, is I have absolutely no clue whatsoever in any way, shape or form at all what it had to do with the Sharon Tate murders. In any way, shape or form. How that was the backstory of this movie. And it's still, I walked out of the cinema going, what? I don't get it. I felt like I missed something, and that's always a bad sign. If you think you've missed something in a movie and you haven't missed it, The other thing is the guy who portrayed Bruce Lee, he was convincing to a point, and then he took his glasses off, and to me as soon as he took his glasses off, he looked personally nothing like Bruce Lee, and I was just like, what? I don't know, it kind of threw me off, because it was supposed to be Bruce Lee, and even it said that he was Bruce Lee. And there's a part in the movie, and I don't do spoilers, guys, so just letting you know, there's a part in the movie where Brad Pitt is like laughing, and he addresses him laughing, and it's so, like, I don't know, it just felt weird. It just felt really weird. One of the things I'm going to say about this movie, guys, and the most positive thing I can say, it is the most epic 20 minutes of the last 20 minutes of a movie, that I need to say this, and this is not a spoiler, I just need to say this. I have no idea in any way, shape or form how they got a dog to do that. Now, Brad Pitt owns a dog in this movie. Brad Pitt, his character, owns a dog in the movie, and I don't understand how they got a dog to do that. Literally. That, oh my gosh. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Never in my life. I have to say, guys, that the parts of this movie that I absolutely loved without a shadow of a doubt was everything to do with Brad Pitt. He's a good character, he's a good actor and stuff like this, but he brought charm to this movie that I personally have never, ever seen Brad Pitt do before. Ever. There was just something about his character in this movie that I was like, every time he was on set, I laughed so hard at so much of what he said. So much of what he said. Leonardo DiCaprio is definitely the focal point of the movie, because Brad Pitt is actually his stuntman, so he's kind of the side character to Brad Pitt. And there's parts of this movie that just watching it, you'd be like, man, they could have done without that. Like, or they could have cut that scene in half, like literally. There's a lot of car driving scenes in this movie, and okay, I'm going to talk about Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate. Everything that you've ever heard, everything that you have heard, if you've heard anything about Margot Robbie and Sharon Tate in this movie, is completely correct. You could literally take her out of the movie, erase that completely, and the movie doesn't change in any way, shape, or form. Literally. Literally. There's nothing about her character that added to this movie. At all. Now, I gotta tell you something, guys. Okay, guys. I gotta tell you this. Brad Pitt is 55 years old. He's 55 years old. And there's a scene in this movie, this isn't a spoiler, just there's a scene in the movie where he needs to fix Leonardo DiCaprio's character's antenna on his roof. And Brad Pitt takes his shirt off. I felt so undervalued. Brad Pitt is absolutely shredded. He has the body of the hottest guy on the planet. he's not this ginormous beefcake. He's just he's just a solid guy, like he's just a fit guy who is totally shredded. I'm not toting my own horn, but if I had abs like that, he reminded me of me. Okay. Oh my gosh. There's just so much in this movie, guys, of Brad Pitt, and he just owns it. He owns the movie. He really does. There's a scene where they go into the Manson Ranch in this movie, and the music element of this movie, you think something hardcore is going to go down. And I'm not going to spoil anything at all, but the music really, really painted a beautiful picture. Really, I really, really, really valued that. Like, seriously. As you know, guys, if you've been following me for a certain amount of time, I really, really love movie trivia. So here you go, movie trivia. So I'm not going to give you the full piece of trivia for this, because this is really sad. I'm sorry to bring this one up, guys, for anyone who's a Luke Perry fan. He has a really brief and extremely small part to play in this movie. Really, 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 really small. He actually does a scene with Rick Dalton, who plays Leonardo DiCaprio, who plays Rick Dalton, and he plays a scene with Luke Perry in this western part. And unfortunately, guys, this was his last movie that he filmed. And after this movie was filmed, he unfortunately passed away of a stroke. Condolences to his family and anyone who ever watches this. So apparently Quentin Tarantino worked on the screenplay of this for 5 years. That's a long time to work on a screenplay. That's a long time to work on a screenplay. Wow. So this is actually Leonardo DiCaprio's first film since he did from winning the Oscar for Best Actor since The Revenant. And that was back in 2015. Damn. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. That's crazy. That's a pretty cool piece of trivia right there. Yeah, you heard it here first. You're welcome. So Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt actually got along so well in the filming of this movie that at the Cannes Film Festival, they actually said that they are definitely going to do another film together. So that is something massive to look forward to. Like, seriously, Leonardo, Brad Pitt, really? Powerhouse. So Quentin Tarantino actually said that the storylines in this movie are very similar in the elements of I was going to say Fifth Element then. I don't know why I said, because I said element. But to Pulp Fiction, which is very, very true. There are, if you have seen Pulp Fiction, there's story elements, there's storylines, and they all link, or they end up all linking intertwined, and that's very true with this film. Very true. There's several storylines, and they all end up mashing together and become, one story as it is. One thing that I will say about this, guys, is that I've seen a lot of behind the scenes and interviews with Charles Manson, and I personally, in my personal opinion, think that he looked nothing in any way, shape, or form like Charles Manson. Even characteristic wise, the way he acted, nothing. Charles Manson, if you've seen any interview with him, go on YouTube, go check it out. Seriously, nothing in any way, shape, or form like Charles Manson. That guy was the reason why he's in prison. He's a nut, and the guy who portrayed him in this movie, nothing like him, nothing like him in any way, shape, or form. You'll see, when you see it, guys, you'll understand what I mean by that. So one more piece of trivia, guys, and I'll wrap it up for you. So this movie actually received a 10-minute standing ovation at Cannes, which is a huge film festival. So that's pretty awesome. Guys, thank you so much for watching this movie review. I really appreciate your time. Seriously, I really value it. Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Please leave your comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If you haven't, I'd really appreciate your subscription. Thank you so much for doing that. Please click the bell for notifications. And what did you think about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? What did you think of this movie review? Give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down. Let me know what you think. If you do give it a thumbs down, guys, let me know why. Let me know your thoughts on this movie review. I really appreciate your feedback. That really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Until my next review, please take care of yourselves. See you then. Bye.